The opening to the tunnels was hewn in the creek wall. We will short enter this one, long staircase that descends in complete darkness into the depth of the mountain. The descent in both tunnels is long, many tens of meters. I'm convinced you are trying to guess where they are leading to, so just to set your expectations, they're not leading anywhere, just to a dead end. So you will need to turn around and get out the same way you entered. No one knows exactly what the tunnels were used for, but no doubt someone put in a huge effort to curve them. Before we start with the hypothesis for their purpose, as always, we will start with our location. So we are in the Schacha brook, just below Hyrcania fortress, in the north part of the Judea desert. If you draw a straight line, then we are approximately 6 kilometers west of the Dead Sea and 10-12 kilometers southeast of Jerusalem. The eastern staircase, this one, is hewn in the northern wall of the creek and is relatively short. The western staircase is hewn in the southern side and is very long, more than 100 meters. Not recommended for those with poor physical fitness and certainly not for those suffering from claustrophobia. But it is recommended for all you lovers of mystery. The western tunnel is partially blocked by concrete casting to prevent an alluvium from penetration the tunnel, and that's just supporting the tunnel. Now you can carefully climb over it and enter into the tunnel. Before we get into guessing the reasons for the tunnel, let's visit one of them. So we are already a few tens meters down the tunnel, and as you can see, there are several tens of meters ahead of us. I can share with you that it's remarkable, interesting. At the same time, it's very humid, so drink a lot of water before you enter and make sure you have with you also some water. Okay. Now there are several suggestions for the use of the tunnel. A tomb for Herod's opponent and perhaps even for his son, Antipater, who was executed by Herod, and perhaps a hiding place or water system, and possibly a hiding place for one of the copper scroll treasures where the city of Schacha and the Schacha Valley are mentioned. Another suggestion I heard tries to link the place with the worship of the sun and stars using a similar tunnel built for the Persian god Mithras in Turkey. Now, let's further elaborate on the copper scroll, which is one of the Dead Sea Scroll, or sometimes referred to as the Judean Desert Scrolls. They were found during the 50s of the 20th century, and their content is considered one of the most valuable archaeological findings ever. Many of the scrolls are dated back to the 1st and 2nd century BC, and they provide valuable historical and religious information. My last comment on the scrolls is that they were found in several caves in the Judea desert, yet many of them were found in Qumran, adjacent to the Dead Sea, approximately 6 kilometers away from here. Now, unlike the other scrolls written on parchment, this scroll is engraved on copper. Now we are getting to the real stuff. What is really interesting is the content of the scroll. It lists treasures, 60 or 64, that includes very large quantities of coins, silver, gold, and valuable tools, along with marking the hiding places of these treasures, whose total weight is estimated about 100 tons. Now wait before you look for your digging tools. Please stay with me till the end of this video. Most of the places mentioned in the scroll are unknown. The source of the treasure is also unknown and to whom it belonged. But of course, there are speculations such as a pharaonic treasure or the treasure of the first temple, or the treasure of the second temple. The paragraphs in the scroll have a fixed structure, and as I go through them, a very interesting example is currently displayed on the screen. I'll just mention that this is my free translation and some of the words were unclear. So the information structure includes indicate location, more information for the location, explanation of the excavation, the distance, usually indicated in forearms, description of the hidden item, additional notes, and 2 or 3 Greek letters. We will refer to the example that appears on the screen. Now, one of the scroll researchers, John Macro Allegro, identified the fortress of Urkenia with the ruin in the biblical valley of Akur. According to the researcher, Ken, K-E-N, are signs indicating the sources of the treasure that appeared in the scroll. Schacha is mentioned as one of the 6 cities of the desert in the book of Joshua chapter 15. Schacha and also Schacha brook are mentioned several times in the copper scroll in connection with places where treasures were hidden. I will add that an excavation was carried out near the Urkenia fortress in the hope of finding treasures, but so far nothing has been found. So just before you start planning your visit here to look for the treasure, I will end as usually with a trivia question. Out of the 6 cities of the desert, as listed in the book of Joshua chapter 15, what is today the most active one? And the answer will appear in 5 seconds.